What is going on, everyone? Anthony here, and welcome to another video here on Let's Talk Resident Evil covering Resident Evil Village. As you guys know, there was a second Village showcase yesterday, and a bunch of information right before the demo that's going to be coming out tomorrow around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So, to get you guys all up to speed, we have one more video here, the screenshot breakdown. You guys love the trailer breakdowns and the screenshot breakdowns, so enough of our stupid faces. Let's get on to the first screenshot. The first thing here that we see is Chris Redfield, and not only do we see him with his trusty handgun, but we also see him with his wolf pack, if you will. This is a team that seems to be running with Chris Redfield. These soldiers, whether they're handpicked by Chris Redfield or they're just, they're people that are there to do the dirty work with Chris. What we saw in the trailer was Ethan being restrained by the gentleman with the helmet over there, right next to the left of Chris right here. So, obviously, he has some people that are a part of his team. This medal right to the left of Chris stands for Hound Wolf, as stated on the Resident Evil Village website. So Hound Wolf is what Chris Redfield is now a part of, and he is taking control of this team, as it seems. He's taking lead, and whether they're here to clean up more of the village, that's to be determined. We know that they obviously had a plan as soon as they killed Mia off, as we saw in the trailer. That kind of set up the story. So, Chris Redfield is personally one of my favorite characters from the original trilogy of games. And even though he was, only in a few of the story-related games as of recent, besides, Resident Evil 6, we haven't really seen his story evolve. I would argue and say that it barely evolved in Resident Evil 6, so I think it's going to be a really cool thing to see Chris Redfield in this kind of light. It's going to be different for Chris Redfield, so I'm excited to see where they take the character, and this screenshot really gets me excited. Now, we don't know who the two other men that are in this photo. They're kind of more silhouetted out a little bit, so we haven't seen them. We only saw the gentleman with the helmet in the trailer when Ethan was flipping out at Chris. So, we don't know who they are yet, and again, maybe they're trying to keep that under wraps until the next reveal. So, with this screenshot right here, we see the factory. Now, this seems to be Heisenberg's factory. That's what we've been saying since we saw the little glimpses of this in the little trailer that they showed us. And Heisenberg is dragging Ethan to this place. Now, what these bodies are on the conveyor belt, we don't really know. So we look at this as a testing facility, an experimental facility. We've seen places like this before in Resident Evil. It's interesting that it is literally built within these caves, because you can see the cave walls as all the pipes are running through and the belts are running through with the bodies and stuff like that. So it's very creepy and eerie. It does make for a really good atmosphere. It kind of reminds me of the mines that were in Resident Evil 7, but just with more bodies, more weird shit going on. And there's definitely more stuff going on here in this village than what we got there. So Heisenberg may be in charge of this, and from what we saw in the trailer where Ethan is still shackled and running around in this area, this may be earlier on in the game, and Heisenberg might capture you eventually as you go through the village. But then we have the next screenshot here, which is the fish monster, the lake monster, whatever you want to call it. This is what a lot of people are talking about as far as, the bosses that are in the game, the enemies that are in the game. We have lichens, but we also have fish monsters, and it looks like Ethan is on a boat in this photo, and there's a bunch of tentacles sticking out of the fish monster as it, looks like it's blocking an entry point. We noticed that right around where the tentacles are coming out. If you notice that in the trailer, right behind it, when it goes back into the water, you can see there's a tunnel, and we're suspecting that Ethan's trying to progress through the tunnel, and that's when you end up running into this monster. Very cool. Very unique. I do like it. It does, you know, a lot of people, obviously the first thing they think of is, you know, they make a comparison to El Lago, which is in Resident Evil 4. So, well, you know, while this is a fish monster, lake monster, Loch Ness monster, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? It is going to be different than that fight that we got in Resident Evil 4. You know, and so I'm curious to see what they're going to do with this. And again, I'm all for more bosses and fights to progress to the village. This next one right here is, it's looking like Lady D, and the tall lady is extending her claws. We saw this in the maiden demo at the very end where she picks you up as you open the door. This looks like it's Ethan encountering her this time with the claws, which is something we haven't seen from Ethan's perspective yet. And we did recognize this right away. As you can see, there's the fireplace, there's the doors. This is exactly where you come up from the dungeon in the Resident Evil maiden demo. So we were able to kind of explore with the first demo where they're standing right now. But in this confrontation, it looks like this may be one of the first ones that you have with Lady D as she extends her claws. A lot of people compare it to Tyrant claws, and that is a good observation there. But yes, we don't know what happens right before, right after this, but it looks like this is when she runs into Ethan, possibly after he escapes, because she does mention that he did escape, you know, Heisenberg at one point, so we'll see. But obviously Lady D is, you know, going to play a bigger role in this game because there's a lot more that we have to find out about the family and about these characters, and she's looking menacing as always. The next shot that we have here is what we saw in the beginning of the trailer and what I was mentioning with the factory. This is Heisenberg dragging Ethan with the shackles on, and one thing that we made note of, how the gears are kind of attached to Ethan on the left and the right, so they're static with him while they're moving. That is something you can see in this screenshot as well. We did show it in the video breakdown. You can see in the video and the visuals how they kind of fall off to the side as he's dragging him. So again, with that hammer, with the powers that Heisenberg possesses, obviously he might be able to hold down, you know, Ethan with these, you know, with these metal items or these, you know, gears, whatever you want to call it. It looks like he's dragging him right into the factory, judging from the walls and the lighting and everything. It kind of fits that. So, yes, Heisenberg is definitely up to no good, and he's trying to drag Ethan into some serious, serious shit. The next one right here is a silver dagger that is pulled from the coffin. Now, a lot of people are speculating in our comment section and community on, you know, what exactly is the body that you're pulling this from in the coffin. We have a glimpse of it being pulled out in the trailer. In this screenshot, it's just showing you once it's completely in Ethan's hands. And I don't know, maybe this is the key to killing something. Maybe this will be our knife of choice throughout the game. It looks fucking badass. It looks like there's... I'm trying to look at the engraving on the actual knife. It looks like there's some kind of design. It looks like like faces or like sun, like, or moons. I don't know. I can't really see it exactly. Maybe some kind of animals are engraved on it, but it does appear to be silver, and this may be something that we get as we dive into the deep depths of the village and find this coffin. I mean, it definitely looks like a place that Ethan had to get to through a bunch of shit. So we'll see where this leads in the story, or it might not be that big part of the story. You know, maybe it's just a knife, but it looks a little bit too special to just be a knife. But again, this might be the key to something else. We'll see. This next shot right here is Chris Redfield looking at Ethan, pissed off, with his Colgate white teeth, and he is grabbing the handgun from Ethan as he's like pulling it away. So it looks like Ethan was previously aiming it at Chris, and Chris kind of pushes the gun. And when this happens in the trailer, we hear Ethan scream, "Why?" Now, at first, we thought that that was in Ethan's house, or this was, when Ethan was watching Mia die and watching Chris Redfield kill her. But no. In the trailer, we noticed, and we noted in our trailer breakdown, that there is a switch behind Chris. It looks like they're in a facility or within the village. So this may be one of the first confrontations that Ethan has with Chris after Mia gets killed. Now, at the end of the trailer, we also see Ethan getting thrown down in a different area where he's outside and the one soldier's restraining him. So there might be a couple occasions where Chris comes in and Ethan is just really fucking pissed and tries to shoot Chris, which is obviously, it's understandable in this sense, because if you're not being, if stuff's not being explained to you and you think people are just coming in and killing you. But again, if he's not listening and there's no explanation that he had yet, he's going to feel a certain way towards Chris. So we see him push, Ethan's handgun away at this moment that the screenshot represents, and then he says, "Why?"
Another awesome screenshot that we got from the website is of the newly revealed name, Karl Heisenberg. Yes, that's right. He has officially been recognized as Heisenberg. He's been officially recognized as Karl. And here he is looking all suave with his cigar and his hammer. We also know from Karl Heisenberg that he is a strange man who wields a massive hammer. Could he be friend or foe? Now, I think that's pretty interesting because Capcom seems to be alluding to the fact that this character might be more than just an enemy. He might be someone who is going to aid us in our quest, maybe possibly even through the castle, after we prove our worth and prove what we're made of. This comes from, there is an image of Lady Dimitrescu who is behind Heisenberg in one scene, and she has an X on her face. This could be alluding to the fact that at that point she's already dead. It could be alluding to the fact that maybe Heisenberg doesn't really like her too much. We're not really sure, but I'd really want to know what you guys think about that, and if you think he'll end up helping in some way. Our next screenshot is not really a new one. It's something we've already seen a bunch of times. It's just a little bit of a different frame of reference. It is the 4 house crests centered with the umbrella logo. There's not much to say here. However, what I do want to speculate on, and what I'm asking you guys to do in the comments, what kind of attention do you think Umbrella is going to get in this game? Do you think this is just a placement for placement's sake, like, hey, remember them? Or do you think we're going to get some origin story? I'm really hoping we get some origin story, and I'm hoping everybody else feels the same. I know there's a lot of anti-Umbrella people out there. They just think that Umbrella should just stay gone. I am of the other opinion. I think Umbrella should have always been here, and they should always be in the background. So I'm really excited to see what kind of connections that this could have, and what kind of implications this means for the story. Now. This screenshot is wicked. Truly something that I can't say it enough. This looks like it crawled out of Bloodborne. This lichen is incredible looking. I am really excited with this character design. I think this is the evolved lichen that we see chasing Ethan in the gameplay trailer. He obviously jumps onto the roof and then jumps onto Ethan. I'm looking forward to seeing all the different ways these enemies can approach you, especially if you can't really run from them, because they can jump on walls and they can avoid ammo, they can avoid knife fights, they can avoid pretty much anything from what it looks like. Now, that still remains to be seen, because we're going to have to get our hands on the demo and see exactly how deadly these creatures can be. I'm guessing on the harder difficulties, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. I cannot stress how happy I am with the designs. I think the designs are great. I personally think they're the coolest new designs the series has had since Probably Resident Evil Code Veronica. I know that's going to, trick a couple people up, but I think that this is the best designs in a game we've had since Resident Evil Code Veronica. I really love the cast of characters. I really love these lichens. I hope to see more crazy creatures coming out of Village, and I hope they have a lot concealed that they haven't revealed yet. Here we have another screenshot of a panning overview of what looks to be the castle, the village, the ritual circle or ceremony site with the 4 statues of, I'm guessing, the 4 houses. Not really anything new, but man, is this gorgeous, and I'm hoping this game stays as gorgeous as it looks in the screenshots, especially on the latest gen consoles. But yeah, so there's really nothing more to talk about with this screenshot, so we are going to move on. Now here we have a screenshot showing one of the scenes in the trailer where this beast man jumps down, and interestingly enough, his torch actually falls off, which I thought was a little weird. I think that was a glitch. I think they just kept it in for whatever reason. Maybe you could pick it up, I don't know. But this to me screams like 2 places. I think this is either up by House Beneviento, which is near the waterfall, like it's up on the cliff, or this could be down with the windmills. Those are the kind of places, like the kind of vibes I'm getting from this particular place. This could be near the fish, where Ethan gets on the boat. The thousand-eyed river monster is what I'm calling it, or thousand-eyed lake monster, until we have an official name. I don't really have anything else to say about this. This is more just gameplay. It's kind of like a screenshot, like a picture in the gameplay itself. But yeah, man, environments are killing it, man. They're killing it. I really like it. Next up, we have the big scene, which is Heisenberg, Lady Dimitris, and behind her we know that is probably Mother Miranda. She's got the 4 wings, well, the crow wings and the mask, and we also have 2 other people here that we did talk about a little bit in our trailer breakdown. Now, we have 2 interesting figures who could potentially be other house representatives for Moreau and Beneviento. One of them is a hooded figure sitting on a chair holding a doll. I think that's pretty interesting, almost like a ventriloquist, or possibly this is something who talks through the doll like a ventriloquist, or like through like a psychic connection or something, or they could just hold a doll because they're creepy. It could be any number of things. We have no information on these characters other than the fact that they're here. And then to his right, peeking around his trench coat, not literally, but on the screenshot, he's just a little bit to the right of the trench coat, is this grotesque, like hunchback looking figure. Some people are speculating that that's House Moreau and the other one's Beneviento, or vice versa. Listen, there's no official news yet, so don't even worry about it. In my opinion, it's probably the house leaders. We'll find out which one is which once we do. That's all I can really say. As far as the designs of these characters go, though, I really like it. What I've said in the previous video still holds true. I think the cast of 4 characters, if they are house leaders, are so different and unique to each other. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's a great cast of characters with great designs. I hope they play as big a role as Heisenberg and Dimitris does. Yeah, man. I really hope they play as big of a role. I know that they're kind of putting all their eggs in one basket with Lady Dimitris because she's sex and she sells. Like, that's obviously what they're doing. They got caught off guard by how popular she was, and now everything has her in it. I still am hoping that she's only a 4th of the game. I really hope these other characters get fleshed out, and there's more characters, because I think that's what we need. Not that I don't like Lady D, but she's not the only one here. We also have a 5th character, a 5th main villain in Mother Miranda. What is she doing? When are we going to learn more about her? Keep them coming, Capcom. I want to see them. Not before the game releases, though. I want to see what they're capable of in the game. We're really excited here to get our hands on the game. What do you guys think about these 2 characters? Do you like their designs? Do you think they're house leaders, or do you think they're just schmucks? In this next screenshot, we have the puzzle bridge, is what we're calling it. It looks like something straight out of Dark Souls 2, actually. There's a whole area in Dark Souls 2. It's a cathedral area, I think. I can't remember what the... Hades Castle? Something like that. But it's literally, you do the same thing. You actually pull levers and the bridge raises up out of the water. I like that. I think this is really cool. Obviously, it's not a copy of that because this has been done in tons of games before where you raise the bridge. I think this is pretty cool. I think it also adds to the gothic, like, mystery element of this entire, basically this entire game, like this entire atmosphere. I'm a fan of puzzles. You guys know this. To those of you who've been watching the channel for a while, Anthony and I love our puzzles. We want more of them. Hopefully this is not just you switch a lever. Hopefully this is like you have to get a cog, you have to repair the thing, you have to go raise different levers or turn different cranks. I want this to be a big thing. I think this is awesome. I'm hoping to see more puzzles, and I'm hoping to see more intricate puzzles than 7, and puzzles unlike Remake 2 and 3, which basically dumbed them down to nothing. I want to see them. This is the setting, this is the environment. First person is the best way to do some puzzles, so take advantage of your camera that you chose. Capcom, let's see them. I'm really excited. Our final screenshot here is one of the biggest talking points. What is Chris Redfield up to? Here he is, sitting against the wall, with his man holding Ethan down to the ground. What is he doing? It would be a shame if something happened to you now. You've come so far. I'm surprised you got this far. Are you, Chris? What are you doing to Ethan? Why did you kill Mia? Why did you shoot Mia? Why didn't you shoot Ethan? Why did you lead him here? Why is he running around? Is it some villainous thing you've got going on? Are you a clone, like Where's Barry thinks? Are you going to... do a bait and switch? Is Ethan bait? Are you using Ethan to get to your target? Are you still a BSAA member? Or are you working on your own accord under the Houndwolf organization that you've probably founded? Who are you? What are you doing here? Kendo wants to know. Anthony wants to know. I want to know. And the whole Resident Evil community wants to know. That's all we have for you today. Those were the screenshots. I'm going to leave it at that. I want you guys to speculate in the comments below. We're going to have some more theory videos probably coming out soon, talking about all of the different characters. So yeah, let us know what you think about that in the comments below. Let us know what you think about all of this in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment about what you think, because this is big, right? This is it. Village is going to come, and then it's going to be over. Talk about it with us now. That's what we want. That's what we want to see. Let's get some good community discussions going. And as always, subscribe if you're new. Drop that like button. Consider subscribing on Patreon for exclusive content. And join the Discord. It's free. We have great conversations in there all the time. I'm constantly monitoring. Anthony's in there talking. Patreon has exclusive Discord rooms. You can come talk to us. We have, a monthly hangout, which will be announced soon. Yeah, so come join us, and it's a great time to be a Resident Evil fan. Village is on the horizon. Infinite Darkness is on the horizon. We have a great community here. I really couldn't ask for much more. I hope we don't get a whole lot more information. I hope it's just the demos, and then we're done. And I really hope those other 2 characters are house leaders. And I really want them to be important. Do it, Capcom. Well, I mean, it's already done, so I hope you did it, Capcom. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.
A big shout out to everyone that supports us over on Patreon. Starting at just $1 a month, you can join on exclusive polls, and you can vote on content for the channel. We literally couldn't do this without you guys, and we really appreciate all the support across all tiers. Thank you for all your support, and we'll catch you next time right here on Let's Talk Resident Evil.